Hi, do you have the Impossible Whopper still?
Yes, we do.
Look at that. Look at how big that is. Oh, and it smells so good. Should probably get a plate. It is truly a magical time that we live in, to where you can go to Burger King now and get vegan food. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are excited, but I thought it would be fun to go and get this burger because I haven't had it yet, and try it and just do a little taste review. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, oof, that is a large patty, I am here to tell you. I don't know why I'm putting it on a plate. I could just as easily just eat it like however, but I wasn't raised in a barn. Excuse me. I just washed my floor, so it'll be fine. I am just making a mess. It's because I'm so excited. So here it is, the Impossible Whopper with a side of fries, because, you know, I'm really excited to try this. Got some lemonade, because, you know. I have been so excited about this ever since I heard that Burger King was going to be getting the Impossible Whopper, because Red Robin had the Impossible Burger before, and that's actually the first place that I ever tried it. I drove almost an hour to this little town in Rhode Island that happened to have a Red Robin because I wanted to try the Impossible Burger so bad, and it was worth the drive. So I'm curious. I mean, I've had it before, so I'm curious to see if it's going to be any different. I mean, whatever. Burger King's just like right downtown, so it was way easier to get to Burger King than it is to get to Red Robin. So, alrighty. Bon appetit. That's crazy. It's crazy. Like if I got this, suppose I ate meat and nobody told me that it was a Beefless burger, I honestly would have no idea. Give you a little bit of a close up there. Like look at that texture. Just look at it, would you?
Yeah. I said, would you look at that?
Just look at that texture. It's so good. So good. So I went through the drive-through window to get this, and the guy that took my order was just like, you know, average Joe, whatever. But then I get to the window to pay and pick up my food, and the lady that was at the window was Eastern Indian, and she had the strongest accent that I have ever heard, like the strongest accent. She was asking me a question, and I could not understand her, and I felt so bad. She repeated it like 4 or 5 times, and I couldn't understand her, and I felt bad. And then she got like mad at me. But it's like, look, the only language that I speak is English, and maybe that makes me uncultured, but at the same time, I'm in the United States, so I'm really sorry, but your English, you know, it's not good. And also, I feel like companies that hire people that, you know, are newly speaking English, maybe not super fluent, they kind of set these people up for failure because they'll put them in roles where they have to interact with people, which it's like a double-edged sword. Like on the one hand, it's a good thing because that's how you improve, that's how you get better. But on the other hand, it sucks for them because they're going to be put in situations where it's really difficult for people to understand them, and then you get into situations where people get frustrated with you, or they get mad at you, or they say insulting things to you. Like I can only imagine, I've never been in a situation where I've been in a different country that doesn't speak my language, but I can only imagine what it's like to deal with people who don't speak your language or can't understand you when you're trying to speak theirs. That has to be so frustrating. Anyway, that was just an interesting aside. You know, for the longest time growing up, I always thought McDonald's fries were the best. Let's not kid ourselves. It's all about the Burger King fries. In fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that now, thanks to this beautiful masterpiece, Burger King has superseded McDonald's in every single way. I mean, their burgers were already good. It's been a long time since I've had one of them, but I do remember what they taste like, and they were always really good. But now, you know who's gonna be getting my business, obviously. I just think it's really cool that we live in a day and age now where these kinds of foods are becoming more and more mainstream, and it's not at like a ridiculous cost or anything like that. Like the companies like Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat are going out of their way to make foods like this accessible to everybody because they want to give people good alternatives that they can know and can trust are ethical and cruelty free and vegan and everything else. I think that's really, really cool. I mean, say what you want about the vegan community. I know I certainly will. But they've done a really good job of promoting and helping to push companies like Impossible Foods to get out there and make a product available to more and more people. Because if something's out there and it's available, more people are going to try it. And somebody might try this thinking that it's going to taste like garbage because, let's be real, up until, you know, the last few years or so, a lot of imitation, like mock meats and like dairy-free foods really did taste like garbage. We live in this magical age now where things are not only tasting good, but they're like available. I don't know. I think it's really awesome. I think it's really cool. I think it's a sign of the times, and I am here for it, honey. So I had to order this, of course, without the cheese or the mayo, and I thought that I would like maybe miss it. Don't miss it at all. It's got tomato, onions, pickles, which I love, lettuce, ketchup. I don't think mustard. No mustard. But I was actually thinking about it, and back when I used to order burgers from fast food places, most of the time I would only order them with ketchup. Maybe cheese, because up until it just didn't agree with me anymore. I love cheese. But in general, I ordered pretty simple burgers. So this is really no different. And it doesn't sacrifice anything on taste. It's got like that smoky grill flavor that you want, and like that chewy texture that beef is supposed to have. I will say though, Stuart and I had a conversation earlier, and he was saying how, like, you know, the Impossible Whopper, in measure of like calories and everything, it's no healthier for you than the traditional beef Whopper that you would get. But it's like, if you're going to Burger King to be a health nut, you're already wrong. Like, why you would go to a fast food place and think that you're gonna walk out of there like the epitome of healthy choices, probably you're lying to yourself, to be honest. This is just, it's a way to make a product available to people because people weren't able to get it before. I had not been to Burger King in a while. Probably not since my tattoo video where I did the salad and fries and stuff. And that's like all that I could do. And so many other restaurants and fast food places are the same way. You can get a salad and some fries, and maybe if you're lucky they'll have like some dessert item that doesn't have like dairy or eggs in it. And that's really it. And it's not that I think that people should be catered to. I don't want that. But I think it's cool that this is becoming an added aspect of these menus because it opens up business to more and more people, which is the whole point. I mean, capitalism, am I right? I'm not saying that having this as an option would make me go to Burger King more, because in general, I try to make healthy choices. And like I said, caloric and like fat-wise, it's no better really for you than a regular beef burger. But it's nice to know that like if I were ever on a road trip or, you know, in a bind and I really needed food, that I have an option, like a quick, easy option. I do know that I read something somewhere saying that this is only supposed to be like a temporary trial thing, but I'm hoping that it'll end up sticking around longer because I know that originally it was only in like a few restaurants in I think Georgia, and it did so well that they decided to trial it across the entire nation. So I'm really hoping that it does well and sticks around for the long term. So what I'm saying is, go get an Impossible Whopper. You should go and try it while it's here, in case it doesn't stick around. Even if you don't eat a plant-based diet, even if you don't care either way, because it's really good and it's interesting because it tastes so much like beef. I don't know. Just something to think about. I guess I'll use my little ketchup packets. Love me some ketchup. And this is weird, but am I the only one who thinks that ketchup out of a packet tastes better than ketchup out of a bottle? I know that sounds weird, but it just tastes like more concentrated or something. I don't know. Something interesting that I read while I was like kind of following the news for the Impossible Whopper to see if they would release it nationwide, they were saying that when they looked at the statistics of sales in Georgia, the people that were buying the Impossible Whopper weren't like new customers. It wasn't people that hadn't been going to Burger King before. It wasn't like all of these vegans and vegetarians just came flooding through the doors. I mean, they did have that, but mostly what they saw was that it was people, it was like reoccurring customers. It was people who were already going to go to Burger King to eat there anyway, and then they opted to try the Impossible Whopper and got it more and more, which I think is interesting, and it's pretty cool because the whole point of Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat, and I've said this before in like interviews and stuff, is not necessarily to give vegans and vegetarians this incredible mock meat that tastes like exactly like the real thing. I mean, obviously, yes, we'll buy it and use it and it's great, but it's to try to get a product out there that's going to draw in and appeal to people who up till now would never consider eating any kind of mock meat because, like I said before, up until here recently, it all tasted like trash. And I think that that's really cool because I think most people, because I think most people are good people, most people have at least some qualms with animal agriculture. It's a broken system and people do have problems with it, even if they continue to buy beef because it's just a part of their diet and they know nothing else. So by making a product that is so like realistic and tastes so similar, and it appeals to those people and gives them an option besides beef so that they can support something that maybe doesn't make them feel so crappy. And I think that that's really, really cool because I think that, you know, vegans and vegetarians like myself just kind of got used to doing without, or, you know, there's like lentil burgers and soy burgers and like whatever, you know, you just do without, like you get used to not having it. And that's because we made the decision for whatever reasons to give up those things, and that was just that. But other people don't feel that way, and this gives them an option. I just think that's really cool. I have this rule when I eat. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. If there's like a group of things on my plate, like maybe you got some veggies and you got some this, you got some of that, I will eat the majority of the thing that I like less, or I'll eat the majority of the thing that there's more of. So in this case, I had a lot of fries, so I ate all the fries first and left the last bit of this burger for the very end. I don't know why I do that. I think it's because growing up I was a really picky eater. My parents would always make me eat like whatever was on my plate, and so I like would play mind games with myself to try to like pare down on whatever there was more of that I didn't like, so that I could like then go to focus on the good thing. Like the good thing was a reward for eating the thing I didn't like, and now I do it subconsciously. Weird, right? I feel like a psychologist could have a heyday with that. I don't know what it means. We are getting down to the last few bites here, and it'll be sad to see it go. Damn, it was good. I would give that burger a solid 10 out of 10. It's just really good, and I like it better than Red Robin's. I don't know if there's a difference in the way Burger King and Red Robin cook their food, obviously. This Impossible burger patty tasted better to me than Red Robin's. That's just my humble opinion. Before I go, final thoughts, some things I've had percolating. I have a bone to pick with some of those vegans out there. That's right, you watching this video right now. You didn't think I'd know? I'm just kidding. I don't know if any vegans are watching this video. Probably not. But I'm a little bit miffed at the vegan community, and this is one of those things that drives me crazy about vegans and that community. The like militant side of it that's like aggravating and annoying. So people have been complaining because the Impossible Whopper is cooked on the same grill as the regular Whopper, unless you specify that you want it like microwaved or something. And people are complaining because they're saying that,
well, now it's not technically vegan. Like now it could have like beef juice on it or something like that.
Stop it. What are you? Keeping kosher? Like I get it. Like I get the argument for it, but it's not a good argument. And here's why. You do not live in a world where veganism is well understood by the vast majority of people. It just simply isn't. And the fact that there are even now options for you to eat in restaurants should be the takeaway point here. It should not be, oh, well, here's this great thing and now we're gonna poke holes in it. Like people do that for everything, and it drives me crazy because people ruin everything. And if you really want to be that militant about how your food is prepared, the surfaces that it's prepared on, what it might come in contact with along the way. Maybe you just shouldn't eat at those establishments. Maybe you should just stay home. I think everybody would be a lot happier with that. I know that might sound like a shitty thing to say, and I realize that I'm being very sarcastic and condescending right now, but I won't apologize because I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that there are options out there for people like vegans, like myself, like vegetarians to eat, and people still are not satisfied. Like, people will never be happy. And I think that unless you have some kind of like severe allergy of some sort, or some sort of intolerance, or you have a religious observance of some sort, then you really don't have any legs to stand on. That's just my 10 cents on the matter. Take your patty. Be happy that you have an option at all. Try not to worry so much about everything. Remember, it's about reducing the impact, not about being some militant religious freak. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to live in a world where everything that you do and any effort you make to do good and make a change is just picked apart. We need less of that in our world, okay? We need more positivity. We need more glass is half full than glass is half empty. It drives me crazy. It's my biggest pet peeve with the vegan community. It's one of my biggest reasons why I will never call myself a vegan. I just think that it's ridiculous. It's sickening, and that's all I have to say on the matter. If you don't like the way the food is prepared, then get out of the restaurant. You don't have to eat there. You can take your money elsewhere. Don't worry about it. Let the rest of us who are just happy to have that option enjoy the food. And that's the thesis. And that is it for me for now. I'm going to go and probably watch some TV and let this food digest, because honey, it was good. Shout out to Burger King for being the real OGs and realizing that this is something that people want, and listening to people and actually getting it in their stores. I think that's really, really cool. Hopefully other stores will be following suit here pretty soon. I'm looking at you, Taco Bell. I mean, come on. If Del Taco can get it together, you can too. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you've tried the Impossible Whopper, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, that's always cool, and I will see you again soon for the next video.